everybody. This is Cindy Oser and Hobby Memorial Library, Central Texas College, and we're here again with our second day of the Black History Month series, the Black Family Representation, Identity, and Diversity. Today we have with us Savina. Um, Luvina. We're doing great today. Luvina Sabree. And she is here today. She is the owner of So Natural Catering, and she has 6 kids. So she definitely knows our subject of the family. I'm going to go ahead. Before I get started, though, I just want to remind you, if you need proof that you were here, make sure you go to the library website and go to the events and register. Uh, then you are in. But even if you don't want to go ahead and uh, register, it's no big deal. It's just for credit. All right, so got that out the way, and we are ready to go. Welcome and take it away.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is really a pleasure to be here to speak about my life. It hasn't always been easy for me because first of all, I want to start off again. My name is Luvina Sabree. I am a wife. I've been married for about Ah, he always gets mad at me. I don't even know why I always say this because I always forget, but it's been over 30 years that we've been married, and we have 6 children, like she stated before, and they range from 30 all the way down to 12. But I wanted to start off just talking about my life. I'm from Chicago originally. I Chicago, and I was born to a 13-year-old mother, and she got pregnant with me when she was 12, and she had me when she was 13. Yeah, I normally don't talk about this a lot, but it's something that's important for me to share because I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be an aborted child, but because my grandmother said that she did not believe in killing any babies, that is why I am here. And I am happy to share my story with you. Like I said, was born and raised in Chicago, actually in Rockwell Projects in the city of Chicago. Later on, we moved to another neighborhood. And when I was 17 years old, I graduated high school and I joined the Army. I was in the Army as a fueler and a truck driver. Later on, when I got out of the Army, because I wanted to become a nurse, I went into the reserves where I did some work as a military police. So I was in the Army, in the National Guard, and then I was also in nursing school. So I have a bachelor's of nursing, and I went to University of Illinois at Chicago. Excuse me. And some of the other things that I've done is that I am an author of a book, and the name of the book is called Camouflage Sisters. And that book, it really helped me with some very bad experiences that I had in the military. There were years where, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it. Because I'm supposed to be telling my story, so I'm gonna talk about it. There, and I only want to talk about happy things, but sometimes sad things happen to you, and you want to talk about it so that you can learn from that experience, and so that that experience will strengthen you. And so that's why I'm talking about this. So there were some men that were in the military that wasn't men. They were a male species, but they weren't men. They took advantage of me in different ways. One of them was my drill sergeant from AIT, and I thought that he said that he knew that when we were in AIT that we were both going to be stationed in Germany. He said he'd been there before. He's going to take me around and show me Germany and different things like that. And yeah, he took me around, and and today I do not know where he took me. I just knew that it was 2 hours away from my barracks, because I was very new to Germany and I didn't know the area. I just trusted him because he was my driver, that he was going to take me to a good place and, you know, show me around Germany and things like that. And so that night, excuse me, that night I went to sleep, and when I went to sleep, um he came in the room with me, and when he came in the room with me, he tried to do some things to me, and I was like, no, no, stop. And I'm thankful, you know, that it didn't go all the way, but he still did some things to me that was inappropriate and was wrong. And I asked him at that time, because I told him that I didn't think that I always looked up to you. I never thought that I would have to look at you. And I said, take me home now. And he didn't take me home. He kept me there against my will. And it was very hard for me because I have a cell phone weren't even out then. Didn't know who to call, how to call them, or anything like that. And so me writing about inappropriate touch in this book, Camouflage Sisters, I didn't go into detail like I'm going into detail with you all, but with me writing about that, it gave me the courage to start speaking about it and to actually start going to counseling and getting help, because mentally, um, it was very challenging for me. And I had, and I still have anxiety. You know, it's difficult for me to talk about it. Sometimes it's hard for me to breathe, to talk about it and everything. But I am growing, and I wanted to share this with you all so that you'll know that everything in my life hasn't always been easy for me. Things have been difficult for me, but I just want to share my story. So when you ever been in a place where you feel someone is touching you inappropriate, I don't want you to do what I did and not speak about it. I want you to use your voice, and I want you to speak about it, and not only tell that person that it's wrong, but tell others around them that are in authority that it's wrong too, so that that person can be punished for what they're doing. Because what he did to me years ago, actually, it was about 30 years ago, it still affects me right now today. So getting back to the good stuff. So I was an author in the Camouflage Sister book, and that's one of the things that that book helped me with. And I know that it's helped many other women veterans. And so that was one of the things. So the other thing that I have going on in my life is the job. So as I told you before, some of the other things that I've done is that I'm a soap maker, and I've taught my second daughter, Arabia, to make the soap, and now that's what her business is. So I was very happy and pleased, you know, that something that I love doing, that one of my children they love doing, and now that's what they're doing. Some of the other things that I've done is that I was a restaurant owner for So It Was So Natural Organic Restaurant and Market. We were the first full service restaurant here in the Killeen area. But I have to tell you a story about how we got to that. And this goes back to Arabia and how we started to make the soap and everything. So when Arabia, she's 23 years old now. So when she was younger, she had eczema, like really big, bad. But she was only maybe like 8, 10 months. She wasn't that old, and I was mainly breastfeeding her. And so what I learned is that the eczema came from the food that I was eating, because that's how she got it. And we what did we do? So we had to change our diet. In Chicago, it wasn't a problem because there were a lot of healthy restaurants and a lot of healthy food stores. But when we moved to Killeen, Texas in 2001, ooh, child, there was nothing. And so with me, and a lot of people ask me, how did you move from nursing to being into the foods and things like that? One, I had culinary arts in high school. So that was my career for high school. That's what I did. And so I've always had a love and a passion for cooking. So that's one of the things. But two, me being an entrepreneur, I really call it, for those from Chicago or from big cities, a hustler at heart. It was something that I just wanted to do because I saw that there was a need here in the community. And I was like, there's no organic restaurant here. There's no organic food store here. I need to go and I need to bring this to the community so that they can learn about healthy eating and everything. So that's how we started with the organic restaurant. We wanted to do it maybe back in 2006, but in order to open up a restaurant and do things like that, you have to have capital, which we didn't have any. But my husband, bless his heart, he went over to Afghanistan as a contractor and worked, and we saved up a little money so that we can open a restaurant. So my initial goal was to open up a market with a little cafe in it, but it didn't happen that way. What happened is we were able to open up a restaurant with a small market in it. And we were in business for about 5 years. Some of the things that we did in the restaurant is that we catered to, and we still do this as a caterer, but in the restaurant, we catered to gluten free, vegan, paleo, keto diet. So what we wanted is everyone to feel welcome. That's what we wanted. We didn't want anyone to come in and feel like that they were an afterthought, because a lot of times when vegans go into the restaurant, the only thing the restaurants have for them is salad. We didn't want them to feel like that. So all of the vegetables that we made were vegan. And some of the other things that we did is we had like the best macaroni and cheese, hands down. But a lot of people didn't know that it was gluten free, that it was made with rice noodles. So those that eat wheat, they ate it and didn't know the difference. But those who couldn't eat wheat, they were able to eat it and really enjoy it. And those are some of the things that I found joy in being a restaurant owner. Some of the other things that we did at the restaurant is that we grew attached, and we, I guess, formed a bond, with our customers. So like right now today, we still keep in touch with a lot of our customers because they saw the transparency with us, and they saw that we really cared about the food that we were serving them. And we went out of our way to make sure that we were serving them really, really good food that was healthy for them. So in 2016, this is very exciting for us. Restaurant Impossible from Food Network, they came and they renovated the restaurant, and they did a wonderful, like wonderful job. Um, they just came and they showed out, and a lot of people always ask how was Chef Robert Irvine, when he came to the show and stuff, and I was like, he was hard, and he was looking, for dirty stuff in our restaurant, but I'm not dirty, so no, he did not find anything. But he was looking for something. But they did a phenomenal job on redoing the restaurant, and it's beautiful. I wish that I had pictures so that I can show you all, but you can always go to our website at sonaturalcatering.com so that you can take a look at some of the pictures. So I think, and one of the things that was really he keyed in on is that for me as a mother, I'm not the type of mother that want my children away from me. So when I was at the restaurant and my kids got out of school, they had to be at the restaurant as well. Because I just think that if I would have left them at home, it just would have left too much um, for them to get into. So no, you come to the restaurant, you're gonna help us, you're gonna learn this business, we're gonna work together as a family. But with doing that, it took away a lot of their free time. And that was one of the things that Chef Irvine, made mention of, is that they still need to be kids and they still need to have a life as well. So we try to do a couple of things to make it work so that they can still have their freedoms and participate on basketball and football and different things like that. But it just wasn't working with the restaurant. So in 2000, I think it was 2018. I think, yeah, after we made 5 years, after 5 years, we decided to go ahead and close the restaurant portion of the business so that we can spend more time with our family and also spend more time, with each other because we were making a lot of money with doing the caterings and everything. We was actually making more money doing the caterings. And so we just decided to go ahead and stick with the caterings. And that's what we're doing now. Hence the name So Natural Catering. So now what we're able to do is offer the event venue because y'all remember I told you it's beautiful from when Robert Irvine came and decorated it and remodeled it and everything. So we have event venue rental available. So if you have a small party, 60 or less, you're able to rent out our venue for any type of meeting, hail a farewell, or bridal shower, baby shower that you want. So we have that. We have meal prep that we offer every week. We have Sunday dinner that we offer every week. We feed families from 4 to 6 people, so we do that as well. We have the juice detox, and then we have virtual cooking classes, which are the third Saturday of every month. So that's what we're doing at the restaurant. So going back to the restaurant and Restaurant Impossible, I just want to let you all know that not only did they come out once, but they came out twice to tape us. And I just thought that that was amazing. So the second time that they came out, we weren't even a restaurant anymore. That's when we were doing the catering. And what had happened, this was 2019 when they called me, and when they called they said that they wanted to come out and film us again just to catch up with our family and see what was going on with our family because they really enjoyed us as a family and everything. And I was like, we're not a restaurant anymore. And they was like, we know that you're catering and everything. And I was like, okay, well, come on out. Any type of advertisement is good advertisement. So we welcome you to come out. But what Robert Irvine didn't know is that we had a surprise for him because at that time, although we were no longer working or open as a restaurant, I started to work with the special needs students in KISD. So let me tell y'all how that happened. One of my friends, Tina Capito, she put a note on Facebook saying that she needed some equipment from like for restaurants, for her students and everything. And so I was like, girl, well, we're not open. You can come on over there and get it. Anything that you need, to work with them. And I never in my wildest dreams that I ever think that I will work with adults with disabilities. Never, ever, ever, ever. So when she came to the restaurant, she said, what are you doing? And I said, nothing, just catering. That's all we're doing. It's catering and the meal prep and everything. And she was like, "Do you want to teach my kids?" And I was like, "Girl, yeah, I never even thought about that. But yeah, let me ask my husband, for permission first." And I asked my husband, and he said yes. That I can do it. And after he said yes, we started bringing the children in. That was a part of the crew program. And y'all, let me tell you. I fell in love. I mean, I just fell in love. I did not know that it was something inside of me that would really connect with them, and it was. But I'm gonna tell you, I got 6 kids. I don't play, and I didn't play with them either. When they came, I'm telling you, I just did not play. I loved on them just like they were my own children, and I taught them, and I didn't know that I was teaching them things that they never done before. A lot of them, they never used the can opener. before, and I was like, wow, that was very eye-opening for me. A lot of them never use knives. I taught them how to use a knife. I taught them the safety of using a knife. Just so many things that I was able to teach them and share with them. But one of the bad things that I learned is that, and I'm getting emotional because it's emotional for me because when I learned this, I wasn't happy to hear it. I learned that once they graduate, not graduate, but once they age out of school at 22 years, a lot of businesses don't want to hire them. So if you are a business owner, I want you to listen to me carefully because they are people just like us. They just have special ways that they learn things, and we need to be able to recognize that and help them. So I learned that that's all that they do. One of our things that I wanted to do was open up a lemonade company. And I have this lemonade company. We're still working on it. I just got the logo just a couple of days ago. But the name of the company is Bomb Ass Lemonade. That did not come from me because people who know me know that I don't talk like that. It came from my oldest child. But I wanted to call it Amazing Lemonade because that's what I always say, amazing. And she was like, "No, ma, we gonna have to no. We're gonna say that lemonade is the bomb. It's delicious, and that's what we're gonna call it." And so I was like, "Okay, well, it's kind of trendy, it's kind of catchy, so I guess I will go with that." So that's the name of the company. But what we're going to do with this company is employ adults with disabilities. And I like to say special needs because I am a disabled veteran. And I'm not talking about employing people like me. I'm talking about employing adults with disabilities. And I guess I would put like special needs in the parentheses because that's what we're going to do. We have 10 different flavors of lemonade. We have basil, cucumber, hibiscus mint, which is really delicious. We have ginger. That's what our restaurant is known for our ginger lemonade. So that's the original. That's the real OG. We have regular lemonade. We have mango, pineapple, strawberry, and raspberry. So very soon we'll be hiring them. One of the food scientists, he said that, well, once you get big and you get into the stores and stuff like that, that you're going to have to go to a co-packer. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that because that defeats the purpose of me starting the business. If I go to a co-packer, that means that these young adults will no longer have work and I want to keep them employed. So what I need to do is open up a warehouse. That's what I need to do. And that's what I'm going to do because I want to be that person that makes a difference it makes a difference in their life. So yeah, so let me tell y'all about going back. Now we're gonna go back to Restaurant Impossible when they came the second time, and we surprised Robert Irvine because he did not know that we were working with the special needs, the crew team at KISD. He didn't know that we were doing it. And I was able, because I told the producers that, if you do come and film me, I want to be able to bring some of the students in so that they can get that experience as well. And so we were able to bring them in, and they were able to get that experience. And I'm just so thankful to God that I am the vessel that He allowed to bring all of this beauty because they were like super nervous, super excited that they get ready to meet, like a celebrity and everything. And it was such a wonderful experience. And that's something that helped me to make not only history, but Black history for me being a Black female and being able to share my story with them. I was told by one of the people when I was at a meeting that they had this big old face of mine, and one of them had this big old face of mine as a screensaver. Right now, today, I don't know which student it is, but they have my face as a screensaver. And he also told me with the skills that I taught them that two of them have a job working here at local restaurants. I wish, that we were able to open back up as a restaurant so that I can hire them, but I thought of something better with the bomb as lemonade. So that's what we're doing with that. So um let me just go back to a couple of things so that I can just make sure that I pour into you and just tell you my story. Some of the other things that I do here in the community that a lot of people are not aware of is that I have a nonprofit organization, and it's the Armed Forces Natural Hair and Health. And with that organization, I started the Armed Forces Natural Hair and Health Expo back in 2011. But we were doing Natural Hair Day before then. And one of the things is, and we started Natural Hair Day back in 2005. But what happened is in 2010, I went to another Natural Hair Expo and I saw all of the wonderful things that they were doing for that community. And I was like, they can do it down here. I'm going to take this back to Killeen. We can do it down there too. And from that moment on, I started focusing on what I wanted to do as far as the Natural Hair Expo. And so we hit our first one in 2011. And basically, what that consists of is that a lot of African American women and Latino women, they're returning back to their natural hair. So instead of them wearing their hair chemically straight, they want to wear it naturally the way that it has come out of their head. So what I do, well, what we did at the Natural Hair Day is we educated them on how to do their hair, how to comb their hair, what kind of products to do. And since I make the different products, I taught them how to make different products for their body, for their face, for their hair, just everything. So that was one of the things we did. But when I went to the other event and I said that we can do the same thing here in Killeen, then I started the Natural Hair Expo. And that's on a larger scale. Well, we have vendors who come in and they sell their goods, and we always have classes because one of the things that's very dear to me is education. So we always want to educate. So we have classes on education, we have classes on finances, and then of course we got to have the entertainment. Hear me? Okay, so the time that the event started to the time that it ended, we had some form of poetry, we had some form of singing, some form of dancing, some form of drum playing. We just had all of these wonderful things. And we were able to share that all the way up until last year. We didn't have it. Well, we didn't have it in one year because I was tired because I was doing the restaurant and the Natural Hair Expo. But the year that we didn't have it was last year, and that was due to COVID. And we just didn't want, because we have over 1,000 attendees that come to the event. So we did not want to put anyone's life or put my life or my family's life at risk. So we decided to forego that. So that's one of the events that I do. And then another event that I do is the Veggie and Art Fest. And with the Veggie and Art Fest, I wanted to let people know that and although I'm not a vegan, but like I said, I promote healthy eating and healthy living. So I wanted people to know that becoming a vegan or becoming plant-based is not a bad thing. And in order for me to teach them that or to show them that, I wanted to bring the Veggie and Art Fest to Killeen so that they will be able to eat veggies and know that, oh, this veggies is good. Oh, I can do this, just to show them that it's okay to eat veggies. And then again, we have art, we have entertainment that is there. Last year at the event, we brought Tabitha Brown, which is she has blown up even more now. She was big back then last year, but she's even bigger now. God bless her. She has really blown up. And so we brought her here and so that she can educate and help. And then we also brought the vegan rapper Gray here. So we are excited to bring these different uh fests and showcases to Killeen. And so the last thing that I do here in the community, and I know you say that it's a lot, but I'm gonna just tell y'all, I got a husband that supports me, that's good to me, and that helps me do everything that makes it all possible. Because if I didn't have him supporting me the way that he does, I wouldn't be able to do all these things. Because people be like, dang, you got a restaurant? You do this and you do this and you do that. Yeah, that's because I got a good man, y'all. That's really why. So the last thing that it is that I do is I have the Black Art and Film Showcase. That's what it started with last year. And it's basically a platform so that Black artists, filmmakers can tell their stories and to share their voice. Because remember, I told you earlier, I didn't use my voice. So it's important for me to help others to use their voice in whatever form it is that they would like to do. And we actually have the Black Art and Film Showcase that's coming up May 22nd at the Killeen Art and Civic Center. So we're really excited about that. Now, just to close it all up and just let you know that I do a lot in my life because, as you already know, we only live once. I do not want to have any regrets and say, I wish I should have done this and I wish I should have done that. If there's something that comes to my mind and I want to do it and I know that it's going to serve the community at whole, I just do it. And it makes me happy. Any questions?
Lee, does anyone have any questions in the comments?
There are no questions at this time.
I have some questions. First of all, let me say that I have witnessed people's lives that have struggled in the very beginning, and they don't get to where you are. You're a formidable woman, and I am just so impressed. And then on a personal note, I have a 20-year-old very special needs granddaughter, and you touched my heart because I know she won't ever be able to have a job. And when you took this population of kids and young adults who tend to be forgotten once they leave high school at 21 and no longer be part of the community, and here you are insisting that they become part of our community, and they, because my granddaughter absolutely loves to cook. She absolutely, that's her favorite thing to do. And you are a godsend. So I just want to tell you that I'm just overwhelmed. And plus you have kids. I don't know how this has all worked, but and you continue to have a smile on your face. How how are your kids? I mean, are they all doing well? And
Yeah, so I have the 29-year-old in Austin and my 20, the Arabia, she's 20. Oh my goodness. I'm not good with ages, I'm sorry. She's
okay.
either, she was 22. Yeah, she's 22. She is here at home. The 18-year-old, my oldest son, he just joined the Air Force, so he's in the Air Force in San Antonio. And that's him. Okay, I have a 16-year-old that's a senior in high school, and then I have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old, and they both are in eighth grade. Yeah, but the other thing too is this what I was telling you. Every weekend, the younger three, they still go to the restaurant with me and they still work with me. They still work with me. They have no choice in the matter. They cannot stay home and play video games while I work my hands to the bones.
Mhm.
They have to come and they learn. And one of the good things about it is that my second daughter, Arabia, she actually learned everything culinary from me. and I'm very picky and meticulous. So if I would tell her to cut up a bell pepper or cut up an onion and it was all different shapes and sizes, no, sweetie, you need to recut that. And she was like, it's all going in the same plate. Nope, recut it. And
Mm.
because I taught her this skill and she's so meticulous and everything, when she did go to Austin and she went to work, they didn't understand her skills at first. And she kept telling them, I can cook, I can cook. But they didn't understand that she can really cook because we've catered anywhere from 10 people all the way up to 2,000 people. So when we were catering, she had to be in there, with us cooking. So one time she had explained the story to me that this guy took hours to prepare the food and then he was running late. And when he was running late, it took him a long time, to do it. So he was rushing and he dropped half of the food. And the owner, she was like in tears. She was bawling, like, what are we gonna do now? And at that time, my daughter, she wasn't cooking, and she don't like to see people cry because she see me cry all the time. She be like, oh God. But she was like, I can do it for you. Give me 30 minutes and that food that, dropped, I will be able to do it for you. And the lady could not believe it, that she was able to chop up all of that and cook it and it was ready and to go. And she said, I've been telling you all along that my family have a restaurant. I can cook. They make me cook. And from that moment, they made her the head baker. They had 3 people doing that job, and it only took her the one to do it. She wouldn't tell you that she got those skills from me, or I taught her those skills, however you want to say it. But that's the reason why she was able to do these things because of the experience that she received in the restaurant. And so I'm teaching my children the business directly and indirectly. Right now, they may not care too much about it, but later on, they'll see all of the things that I've done to teach them and to educate them. Because I remember Arabia calling me on the phone one time. She was like, "Oh, Mom, you won't believe this." And I was like, "Girl, what?" And she was like, "They let the produce come in here now and even check it. And I know some of it is bad." She was like, "I know you wouldn't be wasting money like that." So for me, I'm saying to myself, okay, she is learning. She's learned from me because she know. And then come to find out, guess what? The produce was bad and they couldn't return it because once you receive it, you can't return it. And so that's what happened. And I was like, okay, well, she did learn from me. Although she griped and she moaned and she complained, she actually did learn those things from me. And all of my children have. So I'm very happy for them and I'm proud of them. And I just want them to see me doing everything that I want to do in life and let them know that there's no limits. Whatever it is that you want to do, you just gotta go for it and just keep pushing. And if someone tell you no, like they say, that means next opportunity, just keep moving, keep pushing. And that's one of the things that I put on social media, for people that's doing well and pushing because it's gonna come, where you get that fruition for everything that you've been doing.
I, again, I am just totally amazed. And you are a wonderful role model for your children. You're teaching them amazing work ethics. You're a wonderful role model for this community. And I am thrilled that we have you in the community because if you see a need, you're going to do something about it. And
Exactly.
so yes, you and your family can never move away. We need you in this neighborhood, in this community. Um, I I am I'm just flabbergasted. And I am very grateful that you have given us your story. You had the hard times, but you've shown us that there's nothing impossible, and the only thing that will make you fail is if you stop. And it
Yep.
doesn't
Or don't
sound
even start.
right, right. It just sounds like you're unstoppable and you're creating a generation of your children and their friends, because you know their friends see this too,
Yes.
to just keep going and creating wonderful things. So is Lee, do we have any questions?
No questions, but people are saying that she's amazing and inspiration, and they're so thankful for your story.
Thank you. That thank you all. That really means a lot, because what I do want to give, and this is something that I teach my children, is that when people think of you, you want them to think of you in a happy memory and say, oh yeah, I remember her, or I remember him. You don't want them to be like, oh, so if I'm able to share that with you and you think of me and remember me in a happy memory, then I'm happy. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We feel very blessed to have you and have your story with us this week. I hope you keep in touch with us. We'll definitely put your website link on the comments section, and uh, if anybody, definitely please check her out. Check out all of these wonderful businesses you have. Probably by the end of 5 years, you'll have about 20 businesses in this area.
No.
Yes, but your kids will be grown. You won't need to be. You'll have all that free time. Well, anyway, thank you so very much for visiting us today. And for everyone that was here, we still have another speaker. At 1 o'clock, we have Wilbur and Grace Burt, who went through a lot of the 60s when we were having integration and civil rights, and they have their story as well. So we hope that you'll join us at 1 o'clock. And thank you so much for participating. Continue to watch all of our stories this week. We do feel that when you listen to people's stories, then you walk in their shoes. And this is how we learn about people. This is how we get to know everyone in our community. So thank you again, and don't go anywhere. And Lee's going to go ahead and take us out. And yes.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me and for allowing us to share our stories. This is so important, because you just don't know how many lives you are touching by allowing us to share our stories.
Thank you. That made me feel good. Thank you. You've made me feel good twice today. Thank you.